We are sorry.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be.
New world order.
New world order.
New world order.
A new world order.
It is a new world order, significantly different and radically new challenges.
And the hope that each of us has to build a new world order.
What's wrong?
I need something stronger.
Take 4 red capsules. In 10 minutes, take 2 more. Help is on the way.
Let's get to our guest, Justin King. He is with us now. What's up, buddy?
Not much. How's it going?
It's going. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right. I just watched the footage, listened to a little bit of you guys talking.
He laughed. You're laughing at Jeff, right? I mean,
fuck, I'll lose the body. What I said.
The thing is, I'm laughing at Jeff in the sense of he actually has a very valid point, but he does. You know, I
agree. I do agree with that.
He's being Jeff. You know, he's coming across as a little bit more abrasive than most would.
Right. So what? All right. So we might as well get into it. So what is your analysis on the video? Let's talk about the video right now before we get into the other stuff. What's your analysis on the video?
Well, this whole thing, start to finish, I mean, the video included, but even going all the way back, this is a teachable moment for the for the American populace. There were a number of mistakes made. You know, static warfare. You know, putting yourself in a siege is always a bad idea. I mean, everybody that's ever watched a war movie knows, oh, I'm pinned down. That's a bad thing.
Yeah. A little bit.
When you occupy a building by force, you know, under the force of arms, you're volunteering to be pinned down. That's I mean, it's a horrible idea. You know, I mean, it's not something I would ever recommend. As far as the video, you can learn a lot from it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it is textbook, all right? The way the cars are set up, it's right around a curve. You don't see the roadblock until it's too late. They've got their engines facing oncoming traffic, which means you can't ram it.
Right.
You know, most local cops put their cars sideways. You know, you hit the trunk, your engine is lighter than their trunk,
and
you spin their car around you driving. You can't do that with a federal roadblock. These guys were well trained.
Right.
You see that they had snipers off on each side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
So getting out and running on foot is a bad idea.
Yep.
But this whole video occurred because they adopted a static, you know, a static position. You know, the feds knew where they were going to go. They knew where they were going to be. They had their communications. They live streamed their, you know, their conversations. So the feds have all the intelligence they need. You know, somebody earlier during your show said, well, you know, I don't have any training. Well, you know what? These guys, they may have had training, but it was bad training.
Bad training. I agree with that, yeah.
I would have been a better strategy.
For that. Yeah, I mean, bad training has been no training.
There's no training. No, that's like, no, it's not that. That's why I was so against it, because it just seems so totally unorganized, and it looked, I mean, it was pretty obvious. To me, it was obvious, but apparently to other people, it wasn't obvious, because I think people were just kind of jumping on board just because they were, you know, quote unquote, standing up to the federal government.
Yeah, people got
that's kind of dangerous in a way. To me, that's dangerous.
They want the revolution to get started. They don't care.
And I have a lot of sympathy for them in the sense that they were standing up and they were willing to put their rear on the line.
Sure, absolutely.
But I look at it a lot like, Ferguson. And I went to Ferguson, but I look at it in the same vein. It's not the best cause,
No.
There could have been better. There were better reasons to make a stand. So I'm very. This is exactly how the second they took over this building, this is how it was going to play out. I'm the only thing I'm surprised about is that they're all not dead.
Yeah.
Because especially in the 3% movement, the militia movement, everybody wants to make that stand. They want to relive the Alamo. The problem is everybody died at the Alamo.
I was going to say that everyone died at the Alamo.
It's true though, dude. I mean,
it's not strategically sound. If you look at the people that were actually able to defeat technologically advanced and, especially, if they have numerical superiority, they stayed mobile. You have to look at the Viet Cong, the insurgents in Afghanistan and Iraq. You can't look at Davy Crockett,
Yeah.
But, so it's a learning moment. It should be a learning moment.
It's more like General Custer.
Yeah. I'm disappointed because I see a lot of people saying, well, we need to go out there. Do what?
Do what? Yeah.
Yeah. That's a horrible idea. You can't. If a battle's over, showing up to where the opposition is already mobilized and waiting for you because you're talking about it on Facebook, that's a bad idea in a long string of bad ideas. Stay at home, wait for the next fight,
They needed someone a little bit smarter to lead it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly the situation. I mean, I wish I looked into it a little bit more, but wasn't the guy who was, mainly in charge, I'm not talking about Bundy, but wasn't the guy who was influencing everything some sort of, ex-convict who, broke some dude's nose because he disrespected him the wrong way or something?
Are you talking about Santilli or?
Not Santilli. There was another guy involved who was kind of...
Yeah, Santilli's a whole different story.
Yeah, exactly. That guy is a bit sketchy.
We should get into that after, but...
I can't say if he's 100% FBI or not. A lot of people are claiming a guy just posted something like an FBI transcript. I don't know how legit it is, but he could be FBI. He's definitely an asshole. Santilli is an asshole. He cheated and stole from a lot of people and lies and manipulates. I mean, he stole a Facebook page, supposedly. He stole a Facebook page of 200,000 that had 200,000 fans and changed it to the Pete Santilli show. How low is that? Who does that? Who does that? That's hilarious.
Oh God.
These
guys were not. They were not the cream of the crop, So, it's a tragedy. This guy's dead. Okay, it's a tragedy. It's certainly, from what I could tell from the video, it did not look like a textbook shooting. It'll be rule justified. The guy because of his
absolutely, yeah, of course.
But I don't know that in reality the grounds were there to fire, but it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
The FBI put it on their own YouTube page. They think they're in the right if they're going to do that.
Exactly.
They're not worried.
No, they don't care. Yeah.
They don't have to be worried because the second these guys did this,
yep.
All the FBI has to do is redo the charges, redo the criminal complaint, and they could have killed all of them, and it doesn't matter because of the severity of what they were doing and the terms they used while doing it. For this to swing to a terrorism charge is just the whim of the prosecutor. It's all in how they frame it. So I don't. I wouldn't expect there to be a civil rights investigation over this.
Mm-mm. I don't see it. I mean,
doubtfully.
The Lavoie guy seems like a very likable guy. A lot of people like him. I mean, some guy messaged me last night claiming that he's friends with them or whatever. So, I mean, I'm definitely not going to knock the guy, but the guy made some stupid moves, whatever. It is what it is.
Right. And that's the thing, is that, he was doing what he thought was right. Okay? And he was willing to put his life on the line to do it. That alone, garners him some respect.
Sure.
At the same time, the rest of the activist world needs to pay attention to this very carefully and learn from it. Because if there's anything that can come out of this, it's that people don't adopt this stance anymore. Because this only ends in the occupiers being killed or captured. You can't show me another example of it playing out a different way.
Right.
That's what happened.
And the guy martyred himself, though, dude. I mean, I've always talked crap on martyrs, and I never respected martyrs, but it is different. And the guy is doing that to set an example and to teach a lesson and to show people how corrupt the federal government is. We don't need any more examples. This guy, if he's a good guy, which I believe he is, his life isn't worth it. His life isn't worth that example. In my opinion, it's not, because we already know the government's corrupt. We don't need him to sacrifice his life. He's got 11 children who are all going to miss him terribly. And like I said, he put a lot of people's lives at risk by doing that. 18-year-old girl in the car, 7 other people in the car. You just don't do that. I mean, and like Chris said, he may have not been thinking rationally because adrenaline, whatever.
Sure.
I mean, you still have at least a few seconds to decide, okay, these cops are pointing their guns at me. Should I try to drive past them? I mean, that's whatever, dude. That's like a death wish right there. And that interview he had a couple weeks ago, whatever, with mainstream television. During his interview, it's like you could see it then in his interview. He was basically like, I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to keep my gun up on me. And if they come to me to try to serve their warrants and try to put a gun on me, I'm going to shoot them. He's not going to live through that. He was expecting to die.
But he exited his vehicle and he got away from that vehicle because he was probably fearing they would fire upon that vehicle, full of people.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
So that's one rational thing he did.
Thank you,
Didn't
Michael.
they end up shooting at the vehicle anyway?
I don't know. They said there was a lot of. That's the thing. I hear all these conflicting reports. We had no sound with that video, so we don't know how.
You
many...
can see in the video something going on.
Yeah.
Well, I
like
didn't see no windows flying out or breaking.
Saw that light going off. There was someone was shooting something. Something was going on.
I'm fairly certain that was those were concussion grenades.
You think? Okay. All right.
Thrown by the car.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't get to look at it. Yeah.
And I think that was the FBI's way of making certain that the people in the vehicle were going to be, deaf and dumb when they went to extract them and pull them out.
Scare them out, Those things are loud.
Right, and that came after that. I mean, that was under 10, 15 seconds later after they killed him. Then we started seeing that in the video.
Well, one of the witnesses, the female, claimed that they were shooting at the car, like 100 bullets or whatever. And if that's the
there's
case,
a lot of claims like that coming from that family.
Yeah, if that's the case, more people would be dead. Cars do not stop bullets.
Right.
Unless you're Suge Knight. Suge Knight can dodge bullets like a motherfucker, dude. But
they don't. The time I got shot at in Philly, but it was because I was trying to buy some weed in the back streets. It was like Kensington, Philly, and they shot at the car, and the one of the bullets went right through the frame, right through the steel, put a hole in it. So cars do not stop bullets. Although 100 bullets going into the car is going to kill someone with a car packed full of 8 people.
Right. Unless you should die.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's crazy. Man, I don't know what
that the whole scenario with them having the additional people that they shouldn't have had with them in the
right.
vehicle.
No, they definitely shouldn't have.
Again, it was bad tactical planning. And I do think that him running away from the vehicle was an attempt to make sure that the incident that I believe he knew was coming happened away from them.
Kind of got away from it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too. That's what it looked like to me. So, I don't know. I'm not in the guy's head, but he ran away from the vehicle.
Let's go back to the original cause for all of this. I mean, I thought when I first saw it from day one that this whole thing was kind of selfish and that the Bundys were kind of just taking advantage of other people just to get their own point across and just to get, like, because they have a personal grudge. That's the way I got it.
Did you watch any of the videos of them? They kept saying, hey, this is about, making our voices heard.
Of course that's what they're going to say, dude. I mean, yeah, anybody can come up with a nice speech and a fancy-sounding speech. If you're going to try to get people to support you, that's what you're going to do. Dude, if you're going to start a revolution, you do it because we have psychopathic oligarch bankers, and they all need to fucking have their heads chopped off. That's the type of revolution I'm talking about. We need to fucking bring guillotines to Washington. No, we need to line up all these politicians.
Man.
No, he's talking
about... most of those militiamen
I'm just
are conservative.
These politicians and these bankers need to be fucking lined up in front of a firing squad, okay? Forget a little bit of land that was stolen. We need, like, a real legit revolution, not like some let's take a non-used federal building and play, like...
An unoccupied federal building. Like, we took over a federal building that was not occupied and people left for the winter.
I see why they did that, though. Just so, like, it's so they can come off like non-violent, non-threatening.
All right. What does our guest think about that? What do you think about that, Justin?
About them taking the building?
The unoccupied building.
It's a symbolic gesture, occupying any building of the government. I mean, when it's done right, it can mean a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
In Ireland, they took over a post office.
Yes.
And that's what started the Civil War.
Yeah.
Was this done right then?
Yes.
You said if done right. Was this
Stop comparing my Irish to these Bundys, man. No,
it's a good example.
No, I know. I was joking.
That is a good example.
But you're right, though. You're right. You're definitely right, though. It's definitely,
And it's the exact opposite because...
Right.
I mean, it played out the same way. A bunch of people got killed, leaders got executed in the story, but it wasn't because they did have people with them that understood that this was a bad idea, and they followed it up with a guerrilla campaign. Rather than everybody, to quote the guy that organized the guerrilla campaign, rather than marching in step towards slaughter, we're not going to play by their rules anymore. And that's with freedom, So, but I see this particular branch of the militia movement living in an echo chamber. That they think that everybody thinks the way they do, and that everybody's behind them. It's not. It's not quite that. We're not at that point. They say that they're at 3%, but there's not 3% of them. We don't have 3% of the population ready to bear arms. So, I mean, I think there's a long way to go.
think we do. It's just not. It's not like 3% for the right reasons. There's people willing to do that, bear arms, but it's just like not for the right reasons.
Well, it's probably maybe if you added everybody up that was ready to bear arms, 3% for causes, but they're all everybody's divided. I mean, from my standpoint, if you support Ferguson, you should support these guys in Oregon for the same reason. But that's not the way the general populace sees it.
Yeah, Justin, you bring up Ferguson. I think that's a great thing that you point out because it is similar in one very important way. And I brought this up many times ever since Ferguson is because this whole Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot. It's all based, the cornerstone of that movement was based off of this Chris Brown guy from Ferguson. And this guy, this Chris Brown dude, he was a criminal. You can't argue that he was a criminal. He just got done robbing the store. You could see him intimidating the store owner. He charged at him, stole some cigars, and so
I thought that was a propaganda video.
I thought that.
You're telling me it's CGI?
Was that actually him though? Was it actually him?
That's the thing. If it's actually him, then how is that propaganda?
From what I've seen, I don't think that was actually him. It was a totally different person.
If that's not him, then I take it back, and I was wrong all along. But as far as I know, the cops, the claim was he just got done robbing a store for cigars, and that was.
I don't know, but from what Mike Rivero showed us, it was totally a different person.
There was one video where this dude was claimed to be Chris Brown, ran around like starting fights and like beating the shit out of some old black dude, and I know that wasn't him. That was propaganda. But
that was fake.
That was definitely fake. But the footage from the store that goes on. But the footage from the store was real, as far as I know.
It was, but was it the same guy?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I believe.
Justin, what do you think? Shut up, Jeff. Justin, what do you think?
Okay, first, Chris Brown is the Hollywood guy that beat up his girlfriend. Mike Brown.
Oh yeah.
The guy that got killed.
Thank you.
We are messed up. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
I mean, I knew what you were saying, Jeff, but he caught that before I did, and that's pretty funny.
Okay. Sorry about that. Other than
anyway, go ahead.
Mike Brown, and Chris Brown, neither one of them were angels. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Just like these guys, none of them are angels. At the same time, they don't deserve to die in the street or the snow.
Exactly.
So that's, there is that element, and both fights are when you boil it down, come to people standing up against an overreach of the government.
Yep.
There is that, and that's what people need to focus on. That's what people need to get behind.
Thank you.
I have some real issues with what they did with the Native American artifacts out there in Oregon. I have problems with that.
Me too. That was what I was trying to say. Yeah, that's my thing too. So
what's this about artifacts? Can you go a little deeper on that?
Jesus Christ! Will you explain it to him, Justin?
What is this?
Well, you have a bunch of conflicting, just like everything else. You have a bunch of conflicting stories. The nearest anybody can tell, they either ransacked or they maybe destroyed some Native American artifacts on things. Some of it was certainly played up. We don't know the extent of what they actually did, because once the FBI got a hold of it, they realized that was a way to turn people against them, and they turned it into this huge thing. I don't think they did as much as the FBI is leading people to believe, but I do think they did something.
The FBI is claiming that the Bundys destroyed some artifacts?
Yeah, that were on scene in Oregon. And then you have the other issues with, some of the people that they had there with them were not nice people. Frankly, this Santilli guy, it should have been him, as far as I'm concerned.
I totally agree, dude.
Dude, that's the first thing I said.
That's a whole nother subject, too.
It should have been Santilli that got killed. Sorry, he's an asshole.
Because, I wouldn't really, I wouldn't lose any sleep over that. But, that guy, when you're trying to build a unifying movement, you probably shouldn't associate yourself with somebody who's threatened mosques and is just a general scumbag. His little organization had staged something, a nationwide thing where they were going to go after mosques, and they actually targeted a very, very liberal mosque near me. If you're going to take one and pick on one, you want to find a crazy fundamentalist one,
Oh, damn right, yeah.
Right.
Okay, this mosque is a mosque where the women speak to men. It's not a psychotic mosque. Right. We actually had to go out there to stand against these clowns. Well, we didn't have to, but we did. And of course, the second they had any actual opposition, they left. mean, they never even got out of the damn cars.
And welcome back to episode 8 of Lost in Transmission. I am your host, Chris Perkins, joined by my co-hosts, Michael Wagner and Jeff Giles, and our guest, Justin King. Jeff, do you have your sound fixed?
Is it fixed? Can you hear it?
It sounds better, you bastard.
Okay, good.
It does sound, I can still hear something, but it's way better than it was, and I will deal with that for the rest of the night, if that means...
It's a brand new mic, so...
Well, okay. Well, perfect. So
first time used.
Anyway, so back on the subject. I have to skip out for like 3 minutes, as I said. So I'm going to let you and Michael hold it down for the next 3 minutes, and I'll be back. But do your thing, guys. I trust you.
All right. So that song he just played is my favorite song of all time.
And I play, yes, and that song, Trevor Moore, is great, dude. Time for the Teens. It's not like our governor, Paul LePage, who is like, we need to give the drug dealers the guillotine. We need to kill them all. Like, the main governor, my main governor, I totally agree with him on a lot of things, but I'm way off with this shit, dude.
Yeah, dude, that song implies that the governor should face the guillotine.
We don't need to kill. I mean, like, I am not down with drug dealers, but I don't think we need to kill them all, you know? I mean, like, all right, anyway, so
just
I'll
the
do
Clintons
that.
In the bushes. Just the Clintons in the bushes, that's it.
If you want to talk about, like, drug dealers, we'll get into, like, the Clintons in the bushes and, like...
That's what I mean, yeah.
We can really get into some drug dealing if you want to get into that. But I'll be back in 3 minutes. Hold it down, guys. I shall return.
Yep. Yeah, so we were debating off break who's better, Bill Murray or Trevor Moore. And of course,
I don't know. With him gone, I think we need to talk about Flat Earth or something.
Flat Earth.
Something. Completely destroy his show.
Dude, the Flat Earth stuff is fun sometimes. Man, I should have pretended to be a caller again. That was fun.
That was horrible, man.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
You gave me an aneurysm. You did. I almost had a heart attack. I'm sitting here like, oh, no, not one of these guys.
Yeah, you were the guest. I remember.
It was horrible.
Dude, that cracks me. Did you see the Neil deGrasse Tyson thing today? They put out, he went on Comedy Central, and it was crazy. And he tore apart that rapper dude with the Flat Earth guy. And at the end, he's like... And he has his mic, and he's standing there, and at the end, and he says, by the way, this is gravity. And he drops the mic. That was wonderful, dude.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people, you know, mainly, you know, pundits from Fox News, you know, making fun of him. I'm like, you know what? You need to shut the hell up. This guy actually made science appealing to people again, and we have a, you know, I don't care what this guy does. Honestly, he's one of these guys, as far as I'm concerned, you know, he can do, you know, lines of blow and run over a hooker. I don't care, you know, because what he's doing right now as far as making, you know, people, making science cool again for, you know, younger people, it needs to happen, or we're going to have a nation of idiots.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
agreed.
As far as I'm concerned, that guy's got diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, I like the guy. We're talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, people pretty fucking stupid, so we need people like that. You know, it needs to become, like you said, it needs to be kind of cool. Science needs to become cool again. And so let's get back to this whole revolution thing, because there's a lot of people listening right now. I can feel them just like wanting to hear about it and talk about revolution. What should start this? What should initiate this? The British aren't going to come this time and take our guns. And this whole Bundy thing, I can't compare that on any level with the BLM land grab. I don't compare that to the British taking our guns. So this isn't Lexington and Concord. That's not.
Well, what about the little thing in Flint, Michigan?
They've been abusing the population for since day one. I mean, they can just say it's an accident. The politicians can all pass the blame. I'm not so sure if that's on the same level as that's the same level for revolution.
A little different. It's a little different. I'm back. Yeah, it's a little different.
It's not a cause for people to like for the militias to start going.
What's your thoughts on that, Justin? I just want to hear Justin's thoughts. I don't even want to hear Jeff's thoughts. Justin, what do you
hear me all the time? Shut up, dude.
Historically speaking, there is never a planned revolution. Okay, everybody's ready.
No,
everybody's
never.
waiting, and
You're right.
something stupid happens. I mean, it normally is. It is something idiotic. It's a bunch of untrained soldiers in Boston opening fire on a crowd of people throwing rocks at them. It's, it's stuff like that actually sparks it. It's never. There's never a plan. When there is a plan, it's normally not good because then it's a coup, really. And basically, you just change oligarchs.
You have some good
get
points.
A new group of scummy people in charge.
Yeah.
When you actually have a people's-led revolution, it's something that happens based on 9 times out of 10 just something stupid.
No, you're right, dude. You're right. I mean, so this
He's
thing
totally
that happened in Oregon could actually be what sparks the revolution. Then, I mean, you're right. With the Boston Massacre, that wasn't exactly a noble way to start it. A bunch of assholes throwing
the Boston Tea Party. You mean with you missing up with like a Valentine's Day massacre with the Boston Tea Party here?
What? I'm talking about the Boston Massacre.
I'm just kidding with you, dude.
I'm saying that a bunch of people in the streets started throwing snow and ice and clubs at the British soldiers, and the British soldiers opened fire. So that's pretty much what started it. I mean, those people were scumbags who were harassing the British at the time, but on the same level, that's what it took. That's what it is. So yeah, dude, so this might actually start out the what's that noise? I hear a noise, crackling noise.
I hear it too.
But yeah, no, it could. I mean, if we had a bunch of cells go active in the U.S. tomorrow and start blowing up buildings, yeah, it could spark a revolution. But from what I'm seeing, the people that are involved with this little circle aren't of that caliber. They're not. They don't even realize that that's how they should operate. Like as far as if they actually want to achieve their goal, and then I don't think they have the stones for it either. So.
I do hear that. It's like a helicopter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised to see this Flint militia join the forces of Michael Moore. Like, what the hell? Do we have a left-wing militia here?
Well, I mean, and see, to me, something like that stands a better chance of causing widespread civil disobedience and spiraling than anything, because you've already got a bunch of people in the streets. One of these protests turns violent, and then maybe you can see something. The problem is that it's Flint. If it needs to be a bigger city. But, and again, I'm not advocating people, do any of this. I'm just saying, putting this in historical context. Be real clear about that.
A bigger city, yeah. But I mean, Flint has made murder capital a couple of years, and it's just such in a poor shape. Man, that's a wild town. At night they actually declared a war zone.
What?
It's just that dangerous.
Oh God, gotta know it. I've got this guy, and he's probably listening right now because he's like my internet stalker in this creepy way. His name is Matt Barson.
Yeah.
And he just sends me randomly throughout the day. The guy's, he doesn't sleep either. It just random stuff that, a Muslim person did this, a Muslim person did that all day long. It's creepy. Anyway, just got a message from him. I thought I'd share that.
He's probably from Michigan.
I don't know where he's from. He's something.
Hey, that sounds similar to Jeff, though. Jeff, some guy, I haven't saw a day him without posting something about Islam.
Islam, not every day, dude. Not every day. And it's only like, it was like 80% of my posts. Now it's like 20.
90%.
Maybe, no, it was bad, but now it's like 1 out of 10 posts.
Every day.
I got it out of my system.
Bastard,
I made a video on it.
What's your issue with Islam, dude? Why do you have to be such a dick?
Because it's being used to fucking cause havoc and hell on the planet.
Sunni and Shia and the whole, do you know that? Or are you just like spouting off because you're a racist bastard? I just want to know, man.
It has nothing to do with racism. I'm talking about the caliphates that have been in existence. This is the new Islam caliphate. The ones in the 16th century killed over 200 million people on the planet, dude. It was a real evil. Look, Islam might be cool if our government didn't go to the Middle East. They were becoming cool. Islam wasn't a threat at one point. It was like, you know, kind of.
So they became a threat when Jeff made them a threat. Is that what you're saying?
No, it became a threat when our government went over there and killed 5 million people. When our government goes over there and bombs 7 countries, killing 5 million people, resulting in 17 million pissed off family members who want to point the finger at someone. They want to blame someone for the death of their family members.
Yeah, but no.
Okay, let me all right.
Yeah, Justin,
you're not going to, dude, because it's awful. You can't defend something as
shut
awful.
No.
Okay.
Hear me out,
yeah,
because I can turn this, and I can make it. You can make your point and not sound like a bigot. All right. Here it is. There are 100 schools of thought of Islam. Compare schools of thought to denominations in Christianity. Okay. Of those 100 schools of thought, there are two that are dangerous. And if you ask any Muslim about these schools of thought, they're going to talk about these guys the way people talk about, you know, the crazy snake handlers in Christianity. They're like, oh, those people are crazy, you know. And these are the Wahhabi and the Salafi. These 2 schools of thought, if you name a terrorist organization, a transnational terrorist organization, that's Islamic in nature, I promise you the adherents are from those 2 schools of thought. It's not Islam. It's these 2 crazy sects. The problem is, one of these sects is linked to this little country called Saudi Arabia. It has a ton of cash. So if you refine your argument from Islam is evil to Wahhabism and Salafism are evil, you will have Muslims.
Chris, shut up. You don't know the fucking
He's right.
No,
you're just agreeing with them. Okay, Justin, I respect that you're looking into this and everything, but it's more than just Saudi Arabia. You have hundreds. I shouldn't even say over hundreds of imams and clerics that are preaching to their millions of followers that all non-Muslims should be raped, enslaved, and killed. And look, it's not just one sect; it's many sects. And look, all I want to see all of Islam condemning these imams and calling them out for their violence. I want to see reform. I don't care. I'm not concerned about Muslims. I'm worried about their religion. I'm worried that in some areas of the Islam world, 90% of the women have their clitoris cut out so that they can't feel pleasure when they have sex, so that their husbands will feel a little less insecure and they won't.
That's your biggest thing, huh?
My biggest thing is slavery of women.
The clitoris. This clitoris is the biggest thing. Just clitoris.
Clitoris is very important, Chris. It's very important that their entire private part
apparently seems very important.
Surgically cut off. Look, man. Another thing: honor killings. The fact that you can be killed and that your government will protect you for leaving Islam. The fact that 20% of marriages over there are to 9-year-old girls. The fact that those 9-year-old girls in fucking Pakistan, dude.
Dude, what the fuck?
What the fuck? What, dude? That's what happens over there. 20% of the marriages are to 9-year-old girls. The families give their 9-year-old girls to these guys with the whole dowry thing. They do all of that over there, and sometimes they get them younger. And you have imams calling for them to be allowed to get married even younger, trying to protect that. It's insanity, dude. You can't protect pedophilia.
Well, hang on. Hang on, hear me?
Can
listen here.
Yeah, let him talk.
Your turn. I'll shut up.
As far as imams and as far as people condemning this craziness, 15,000 signed on to a fatwa that condemned terrorism. Blanket statement. All of the imams you're talking about are funded by Saudi mosques. And they're all Wahhabi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, you look into this, and you're going to find out at the end of the day, it's two crazy groups. The problem is that one of these crazy groups has a whole bunch of money.
Thank you.
If you know the best, if you want to end Islamic terrorism, stop funding Saudi Arabia. Get the U.S. to cut ties with that country.
Never going to happen, but you are right.
I agree.
Yeah, you will watch it dwindle overnight.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
And I am concerned about the whole pedophilia thing. It's not just in Saudi Arabia, and it's rampant. And it's abuse of boys,
then you can
too.
talk about like our country. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like you want to bring up pedophilia?
Tons
no
of raping
Chris.
going on over here. We're number one.
No.
rape.
Give me a minute here. This is important. You can't compare Catholicism. First off, the priests in Catholicism, they were condemned for it. They made a movie about this recently. The Boston Globe exposed pedophilia as far as the Catholic priest goes. The society, we condemned it. Over there, it's protected. And it's protected and sanctioned by not only the public, but the government. This is a big difference.
Well, see, you say that.
Yeah, what's your take on that, Justin?
But you say that, and it's true in certain communities. And those communities are Wahhabi ran because in a lot of these places, the local government is the government. But in a lot of places you're talking about, the actual laws on the books are very different. And as far as the child marriage thing, yeah, it needs to be stamped out.
Absolutely.
And in most places in the Middle East, it's actually if you pull up a thing on child marriage prevalence, it's not in the Middle East. It's in Africa. That's where your highest incidents are.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to read off here the Washington Post article here. Bill banning child marriage fails in Pakistan. This is Pakistan we're talking about, and that's where I'm getting these statistics.
Pakistan's in Asia, not the Middle East.
Well, there you have it. How are you going to argue that this isn't wrong? This is protected, and the government considers any threat. The idea when they tried to stop this whole pedophilia thing over there, they came out and said the laws of Sharia protect it, and they say it's un-Islamic and blasphemous to suggest that 9-year-old girls should be protected and all that crap. And
we agree, Jeff. It's wrong. It's really wrong.
We're not sitting here saying it's right. Yeah, exactly.
European ignorance and American ignorance is still more dangerous than Islam.
No. You're being an apologist for Western, for European. And what's his name? Stefano. What's his name? Stephen Molyneux, whatever the hell his name is.
What? Stephen Molyneux? What were you bringing him up in conversation? Shut up.
Because he did a great presentation, a video presentation, and he made the point that this whole apologist thing for European cruelty and trying to marginalize the violence done by Islam is ridiculous because Islam is the most crazy, ridiculously genocidal empire that's ever been on this planet before. Craziest by far, dude.
Sunni or Shia?
Well, that's only because we're looking at it as ours don't count because we're a secular government. But I would like to point out one thing. The Pakistani government and the people that made this claim, guess what sect they belong to? They're Wahhabi.
Most of the Shia Muslims are in Yemen. There's a spot there in Yemen, Syria, and Iran, mostly Iran. But like everywhere else, like Justin said, Wahhabi, Sunni funded operation.
Exactly, and that's why I keep telling Jeff that you have to understand that, dude. You can't just like.
I have to understand what.
I think there's,
Jeff's
right, and Jeff was just talking about it. Muslims are most oppressive towards Muslims. It's not like they're oppressive.
I'm not disagreeing with that, dude. I'm absolutely.
And that's why I think the next war is between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Those two countries. I would actually prefer Iran to be the Middle East superpower.
Dude, it doesn't take a genius to know that there will be anything between Saudi Arabia and Iran. That's kind of pretty obvious. Am I wrong?
Israel's probably going to get involved too.
Well, Israel's going to get involved with fucking anything, dude. Anything that will.
Okay, to steer
I was just seeing an article recently how Netanyahu was like, yeah, Saudi Arabia, they're a good ally of ours.
Yes, actually, I had that up here, and I closed my whole browser out. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, I find it that it's great that 15,000 Muslims are condemning terrorism, and I see that on Facebook that they are condemning ISIS. Muslims against ISIS, and I went to the ISIS that Facebook page, Muslims Against ISIS, and I asked the administrator, are you guys condemning the imams? The ones that you're claiming are Wahhabi. Are you condemning them? Are you condemning Sharia law? Are you condemning pedophilia? And they blocked me. They wouldn't answer. They
because you banned their page. I would have blocked you.
Yeah, because you're probably
because they said you have proof.
You're like,
they said, of course they said, do you have proof that imams are saying this? And I went ahead and I posted like 50 videos of different imams.
Whatever. What?
All right. I get your point. That's good that they are condemning violence. I want to see Muslims condemn pedophilia, Sharia law.
Well, of course you do.
We all do.
Everyone does. Did you see?
We're not talking about
that video.
I am.
Remember that video of those moderate Muslims? They were breaking up those extremist protests. Those ones who were calling for Sharia law, and these other Muslims are like, "Go back to Syria."
Right.
That way.
Justin, what did you just say?
Okay, when it comes to Sharia law, that is a very, very misunderstood and scary term. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, because Sharia is the doctrine. Okay, that's the law of the doctrine that of each sect. So let's say Kurdish Shia Sharia law. You would live under it and not care. Okay? It's not a big deal. In Palestine, the best example, okay, is Palestine. In the West Bank, homosexuality, legal. Completely legal. Has been since before blacks had the right to vote in this country. So Sharia, when you see those polls, and Pew, which is a bunch of guys that don't understand Islam, ask questions like, do you support Sharia law? They ask some Kurdish guy that supports his version, and he says yes.
Yes, exactly.
And then America thinks that his guy supports, beheadings and all of this stuff, and he doesn't.
And that's how this
all gets going. It's a very dangerous. It's one of these things where Islam is so fractured in schools of thought that when people try to lump it together, it's crazy because.
So Justin, you're saying that there are more liberal versions of Sharia law, and I'm saying that I don't care. I don't want government and religion mixing. Government and religion do not belong together. They do not belong together. I don't care how liberal or positive or pro homosexual.
I agree with that.
But Jeff,
we agree with that. But that's not what we're talking about here, Jeff. Go ahead, Mike.
I completely agree. My point here is that when people say Sharia and you see these polls where 87% of Muslims support Sharia law, well, no shit. But to them, the people that answered, Sharia may not mean beheadings and cutting people's hands off and stuff like that. In most schools of thought, it doesn't.
Well, of course, yeah. Just in the more extreme areas. I'm concerned that people are being more acceptable and tolerant, and they are okay when it's suggested that we have Sharia law here or another place. I'm more concerned about the people in Europe that are being raped and killed at this point, and the idea that even most of Islam is peaceful, sure, but it's the psychotic few, the minority, the 3%, if you want to say, of Muslims that will ruin it, and they will eventually hold most of the power. They're the ones that are the biggest psychopaths. They're the ones that gain the power, and they're the ones that end up having the power in the end. And no one wants to stand up to them, because people in Islam, if you stand up to them, you're going to be targeted, and you're probably going to be killed.
Well,
and that's
it depends on the area. But one of the things that I think one of the biggest overlooked pieces of the issue when it comes to Europe, all right, is because right now everybody's slamming the Syrian refugees, okay? Because for the longest time everybody was refugees, and it was refugees. However, these mass attacks that took place, which were, from what I can tell, severely inflated, but enough of them happened to worry about, they weren't Syrian. They were from Africa. Right. And they were mainly from Nigeria, which was where the Saudi mosques were, which are also Wahhabi. But they came up and they came across the Med through North Africa. And these are the people that are causing the problems.
Like the ones in France, when France invaded Mali during the northern Mali conflict. That's what a lot of those refugees came from, was from Mali.
Right.
Like, everyone thinks these refugees are coming from Syria. It's just ridiculous.
You can't laugh it off, though, because it is a serious issue that we need to talk about.
It's a serious issue, but you... Jeff.
Relax, buddy. You saw the stupid video I made. Look, all right, listen, okay? My point... Stop it, okay, Chris? Stop it. Relax. Right. The point of this was, I'm not against the Syrian refugees. My point was, our government is going to use them to create the next false flag and initiate martial law, just like France did. That was my concern. That's why I said they can't come to this country, because our government's going to use them to their advantage. That's it. It's fucked up that we hurt Syria, that we bombed their country to shit. But there are 200 other countries on the planet that they could go to. They don't need to come to our country. We can help them without having them come into our country. That was my point. And they are being abused. It's really messed up if you see some of these videos in Syria. I feel sorry for them, completely feel sorry for them. But that still doesn't mean they have to come here. We can help them from over here. With the ocean in between us, we can keep it that way. You know.
Well, look at Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states keeping them out. Like, where else are they going to go?
Yeah, what are you going to do with that?
Well, dude, like Justin said, we have to stop
President
Saudi Arabia.
Jeff Giles, what are you going to do with that?
What are we going to do? We're going to pull out all our troops out of all those countries, shut down all the bases, tell Israel, have fun, you better start treating your neighbors nicer if you want to survive. Good luck, and be gone. Peace out. Just like, Ron Paul and our founders
just like that, right? Just like that. Just
like that. We're out of there overnight. We're out of there overnight.
Done. All done. Yep. You
Absolutely.
Are next fucking president.
Goodbye to the petrodollar. Goodbye to the minerals. Goodbye to the oil, the opium, all the resources. Screw it. The dollar will no longer be the currency. Paul. The dollar will no longer be the currency of the world. Screw it. Oh well. That's how it should be. There's no reason why we should be the dominant currency. There's no reason why we have to keep a presence in the Middle East just so we can be the dominant force of the planet.
No, I kind of agree with that. That's
you kind of agree that we should pull out.
Made, but I'm not totally down with pulling out every time. But
you really don't think we should pull out of the Middle East, all of our people?
No, of course I do. I'm just
close down all the bases. That's what I would do right now.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that.
No, I don't see anyone disagreeing unless you're like Donald Trump. But,
the central banks will disagree, yeah.
Well, but that's retarded, man. Of course they're going to disagree with that, dude. That's
they're the ones that run everything.
Obvious.
They're the ones that are running everything and controlling your politicians.
Really?
Yeah, that's just my point. So that's what
Justin. Thanks for telling us. Justin. So,
Justin, what do you think about these elections? Like I think so. Everyone's so consumed by the most irrelevant election out there, and it's no one's paying attention to their state or local elections.
Oh, you're talking about the presidential thing?
Yeah, the most irrelevant election.
Well, that's how it is every election.
Look, I honestly, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't. None of these people deserve to be in that office. I can't support any of them. I'm diametrically opposed. Yeah, I'm diametrically opposed to Trump.
Well, I would hope so.
Other than that, I think everybody else is scummy. He's just scummier than the rest.
I don't know, man. Bernie seems kind of more scummier than
exactly.
Trump.
If you have to choose between Trump and Sanders, you would go with Sanders.
Yeah.
Wow.
What kind of? You sound like a Republican, Jeff. And Justin, shame on you for saying Sanders. How could you choose between both of them?
Ooh. He just got shamed by Michael. And I'm not.
Both of them are equally evil.
Look, if I had to pick,
here's the thing.
If I would pick between all the evils, I would pick Rand over all of them.
Rand Paul, yeah, I'm there too.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think he's evil. I think he's playing because he thinks he's being all smart.
Well, whatever he's doing, I would still take his side because I know, that's me. I'm totally against the elections. I don't fucking agree on all that shit, dude. And I know that we don't vote people in. I know that they get elected because they get selected, not elected. We know that. So, but that's why we know Rand Paul will never have a chance. But, I mean, think about it. If Rand Paul was president, I'm pretty sure that it would be a little bit better. I mean, I don't like to pick the evils and shit,
the New
but
World
it would
Order
be
down.
like it would be a little bit. It would be better if you. Of course, if you have Bernie as president, we're fucked. That's going to destroy the whole country. If we have Trump as president, he's going.
You saw what I showed you in private. You saw who I told you endorsed and what he said about Trump.
Yeah.
Well, and so you know the person I'm talking about. Let's just put it this way, Justin. Someone who everyone in the Liberty Movement knows and recognizes and respects, said privately to someone very close to me in private during a lunch, a very
True
big
story
game.
here. True story.
Everybody knows. He said that Trump is in it only for his ego, and he's going to intentionally lose to Hillary. And he also said that
proper right up.
He's definitely high up there to know this sort of shit. That much is clear.
I do agree with that. I finally agree with Jeff tonight, and I know this because
I told him who this is, and obviously because it was all off the record and
exactly.
But he also said that he thinks Rand is the real deal, and that's who he's supporting, and that he's legit, that he's actually 100% libertarian, pretending to be Republican.
Yeah, well, I don't buy that about Rand. I mean, I think you're right. As far as the people that are there, he's definitely the least offensive, but he's still. I mean, do you want a little bit of cancer? I mean, it's the way I look at it.
I see your
No, that's my I agree with that point too. Yeah,
but as far as Trump is concerned, in fact, I wrote an article about what people think he stands for. Versus
that
what
was a good article. Actually, that was an excellent
in his
article.
book. Because he wrote this book, which apparently none of his supporters have read. Because,
of course they have.
I mean, that kind of goes without saying. But yeah, I mean, this guy, and a lot of this I don't disagree with. Some of it I do. But the fact of the matter is, he's, pro eminent domain, pro gun control, pro choice. Let's see, what were some of the other ones that just surprised the hell out of me? The
single-payer healthcare system.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Obamacare's bad because it doesn't go far enough, I mean, this guy, he's not a conservative in any way, shape, or form.
There's no doubt about that. That's obvious.
And it just, it blows my mind that this guy actually wrote all this down, and none of his supporters apparently read this. Because I can tell you right now, most of these hillbillies that have, yay Trump stickers on their sign, on their trucks, none of them have any clue that this guy wants to ban assault rifles. And this isn't taken out of context.
They will know.
What the fuck is an assault rifle? Assault rifle, semi-automatic. What's in a semi-automatic? A semi-automatic, isn't that considered every gun out there, even a handgun? Technically?
No.
No.
No. It depends. Like revolvers
automatic
aren't
weapons are
technically
banned.
automatic.
We got the Jeff, have you ever shot a gun?
Of course.
Well, have you really though? I mean, like seriously?
Yeah, I'm not that great. I suck at it.
Okay, so you have no fucking clue. So anyway, moving on. Where were we? I'm just kidding, Jeff, dude. I'm just fucking with you.
I think we were
I was very bad. I need some serious training. Well, dude, that's why that was my intention of making a gun control documentary. I figured I will do my patriotic
never shot a gun,
part.
but you're making a gun control documentary? Is
Isn't
that what you're
awesome?
telling us?
Isn't that some really awesome?
No, that's
irony
not
right
awesome, dude.
Yes, it
what?
is. That's fucking awesome.
All right, whatever, dude.
It is awesome. Come on.
Where did this guy come from?
Justin, I'm going to send you a message right now so you can see who I'm talking about, but you can't say anything.
Oh, what is this shit, dude? Okay, we're going to break because we got to take a break. So no, we're going to get on the whole subject of the Iran, the boat in Iran.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. We want to get on that actually because I want to hear what Justin has to say about that because his opinion matters to me right now. So go ahead, Justin.
Okay. Well, the biggest thing that came out of this, and we wrote an article you can find on thefifthcolumnnews.com about this, is Iran's new technology. And it's not actually new. They demonstrated it before. We just didn't know they had it. We didn't believe them when they told us that they did it. They have an effective GPS jammer, which doesn't sound like, that much because, you can buy them, online, whatever, that are short range. However, but these guys, the Iranian guys, they have one that apparently has quite a range because they've been able to take down a drone with it and actually take control of the drone, which they did a few years ago, and they told us that they did it, but we didn't believe them because we're like, there's no way these backward people have this technology. Well, it turns out they do. Because that's why our boats got lost. For one boat to get confused and its GPS to go off, yeah, that's possible. It could happen. For it to happen in two boats,
of them,
very,
right?
very unlikely. Yeah. For it to happen at the same time that their radios go down is impossible. So it lends credibility to Iran's statement. They have this technology, and that is terrifying to military analysts. Because, when we think GPS, we think, our Google GPS that gets us from point A to point B. This is the same GPS system that guides our missiles. So if those missiles don't know where they're going, they're just going to hit in random places. Our entire military is built around this thing. And everybody seems to be kind of playing it down or ignoring it because nobody wants to admit that Iran, of all countries, has knocked us back to 1990s technology. We have to go and laze targets if we want to do airstrikes now. And that's a big deal, and nobody really wants to talk about it. But now, as far as the boat...
No, because they don't want to talk about it because we want to get that propaganda out there, so we don't want to break that. I mean, I'm not sticking up, and I do stick up for Iran in many ways, but like you're saying, they're not going to push that propaganda out there because... Go ahead. Sorry. I had to throw that out.
No.
But you know what I'm saying, Justin.
Yeah. And it's very interesting. I can promise you that once our politicians actually understand what happened and once they get their DOD briefings, all of a sudden there's going to be a whole lot less talk about bombing Iran because it's going to require ground troops.
Exactly.
So
that's the thing that they're looking for right now.
Yeah, well, they think they are.
They think they are. Okay, well, that's a whole different story, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, they think that's what they want. But anyway, so, and then we move on to the question that everybody is actually talking about, is how our troops were treated.
You can tell
the troops weren't treated poorly. Okay, they really weren't. They were given tea. They were fed. They didn't even change them into prisoner garb. And then there is the one thing that everybody seems to get irritated about, and what's funny is they're right and they're wrong. I've seen all of these blogs and entries about how it was a public curiosity for, and by the way, if you don't understand the relevance of that, under international law, you can't turn the prisoners into a public curiosity. Okay? You're not allowed to do that if they're POWs, which these guys weren't, but the same rule generally applies. So everybody's talking about this headscarf that this girl, the female wore.
Exactly.
Okay. Yep. So
I got you.
The kicker about this is the headscarf is what everybody's mad about. Well, under DoD regs, when she's off base, she has to wear one anyway. So that's not really that big of a deal. Like if you're in Saudi Arabia, if you're stationed in Saudi Arabia and you're a female and you leave base, you have to wear a headscarf. That's just part of the military.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Have to do that. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, but everybody's really mad about this. Whatever. I don't see that as that big of a deal, considering what could have happened. Like, in relation to how well they were treated other than that, I don't see it as an issue at all. But what the funny part about it is everybody's like, this made them a public curiosity. Look in this photo. No, actually, the headscarf didn't make them a public curiosity.
Look at this photo. Look at this photo.
The photo made them a public curiosity.
Tells the story. Go ahead.
Right.
Sorry, I had to laugh. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Iranians were wrong in the sense that they should not have released that. That is improper. That is an improper way to treat a POW. These guys weren't really POWs, but they should have been extended the same courtesy. So that's it's one of those things where people are so focused on something that'll be inflammatory, like the idea of these Iranians making an American woman wear a headscarf.
Oh my God!
That's just wrong.
It's so wrong.
That they actually missed the real violation.
Don't pay no attention to Saudi Arabia.
What?
The real violation is that the photo was taken to begin with.
Is that a country? What? Saudi Arabia? What? Anyway, go ahead.
I get it.
Sorry, dude. I got to kick. Yeah. Anyway, so go ahead.
The actual violation is that the photo was there.
Send that photo
to
me, actually. Can you send that photo to me? Because I haven't seen it. Not to sound like an act.
Didn't you... Wait, who's saying that? Didn't you just send me a link with a photo in it?
Which one?
You sent me one from...
No, dude, that was me.
That was...
I can't.
Well, send me the photo.
And definitely don't say what that photo was. Don't say what that photo was on the air.
Oh, no. See, I was talking about the photo of the prisoners.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I heard that they were, taken care of, and the Iranian army handled it in a professional manner.
Okay.
They just released
They
it.
did.
Go ahead. I hope everyone knows what you're talking about, but yeah, go ahead.
They did. The Iranians behaved pretty well. I mean, if I was captured by the Iranians, I would hope that I would be treated that well.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you right now that if 2 Iranian patrol boats cruised by, a naval installation here in our waters, they wouldn't be sitting on the floor drinking tea.
Right. There's no fucking way they would, dude.
Yeah, dude.
So, as far as that goes, they treated them pretty well. I think we can overlook the headscarf.
I hope so.
Okay, all right. So Iran. Iran. You know, they lifted the sanctions off Iran. I'm proud of them. Coincidence, right when the oil prices are shitty, so it's not like they lifted much off of them.
Right. Here, get your $20 a barrel oil.
Yeah. Man, what are you paying out there for gas?
$20 a barrel.
Wyoming,
What is
like
it, like $12 a barrel now?
What are we paying here? I don't know. I know I filled up my...
What was that meme that we shared the other day that was like that the oil was cheaper than the meme that I shared, dude? What was that?
The oil's cheaper than the cost of the barrel.
No,
oil's
that's what I
at 33. Oil's at 30. Actually, oil went up
like,
significantly last day. Oil's at $33 right now, $33.68. Last couple of days it went up.
Is this like Jeff's? Or is
you're choppy there, buddy. What's that? Say it again. Yeah, you're real choppy.
I'm gonna reconnect.
All right. Yeah, so oil was at 28, and it went over the last week. It shot up to 33. It doesn't look like it's done going up. It might be done going up. It hit a major resistance point in the last couple hours ago. It went up to almost $35, and that was a huge resistance, $34.77. But yeah, oil, man. Canada's getting screwed. The Canadian dollar is 100% dependent on the
we
price
good
of
now? Good now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So oil is really hurt.
Sorry,
Canada's
guys,
really hurt.
I'm dealing with mobile broadband here, so it's like hit or miss. But if you guys can hear me now, that's great. So your Canadian dollar shit.
I'm just saying Canada's really struggling right now for the price of oil.
I don't care about Canada because I can't even fucking go into Canada. They won't even let me in. Not talk about
but yeah,
Canada.
I think I'm looking at the weekly chart here, and it looks like it's going to go back down now. It looks like it's going to go back down.
Well, I don't trust you on that because you've been like saying this all this time, dude, and you like fucked us over on like
what are you
Bitcoin.
talking about? I don't fuck anything. The fuck are you talking about, dog?
I just like fucking, dude. It's so fun. You get
it's
so
at
offended.
a major resistance point right now. It's going to go down, I think. It's not done.
Okay. Justin, what do you think about Bitcoin right now?
About Bitcoin?
Talking about world currencies.
Cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. What do you think about it right now?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm for any kind of currency that isn't part of a central bank. Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
I mean that's pretty much my entire opinion on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That I hope it succeeds.
My opinion too. So.
It's kind of
hard to talk about it on this show because we're all like this. Even Jeff. I mean, it's like even Jeff is like that. It's kind of weird because Jeff is like a status ass motherfucker, dude. He's like a status ass dude. Dude. Come on, dude. Let's call him out right now, dude. You little Islamophobic motherfucker. Dude.
Okay, James.
Oh, shit.
I am not Islamophobic. First off, that's a bullshit term. That's total. It doesn't even exist.
It's not because you are so fucking like you.
What? I'm so what? I want to see people
You're
not be enslaved by Islam.
Just like,
Islam killed 200 million people in the last 700 years. Give me a fucking break.
Oh shit!
200 million people.
Security.
200 million people, and they're enslaving everyone who is Islam. Who is a Muslim is a victim of the religion. I don't care if they're in a nice area where they're treated friendly, they're still victims. Religion sucks. All religion sucks, and Islam is no exception.
Right now. I'm gonna fucking get James on the phone, dude. We gotta get this liberal. We gotta get the liberal versus liberal fucking conversation.
You're a liberal.
Right?
Listen to you. You are total liberal, man. Total
liberal, dude. I will
you are. Listen to you, dude. Change your name to Chris Muhammad Perkins.
Okay, there, Kyle Ahmed
Call
Butler.
me Ishmael.
Seriously, man.
We do got to agree, though. Kyle has a pretty extremist fucking view, dude. You called him Kyle Ahmed Butler, dude. That's.
I know you talked about. That's hilarious.
Oh man,
That's
poor
hilarious.
fucking Kyle, dude. We're like talking about him on air, dude. He doesn't know any better. You're a dick, dude.
Any better. This is cool. Let's do that.
Anyway, still up. We get back on track.
Yeah.
Ahmed.
I kill you.
Silence, I kill you.
With my socialist knowledge, yeah.
Dude. Anyway, so back on track. Can we get back on track, guys? My bad. Totally my bad. I was thinking that downfall for this. Where were we?
That doesn't matter, man. The future. Where the hell are we going?
Train wreck. So yeah.
What do you see though, Justin? What do you think the future's going to be like?
That's what I want to do. Justin, what do you think the future of the this whole
this world's going to be like,
yeah.
man? Put the world in perspective and just tell us, what's going on.
The future of the world?
This is ridiculous. Yeah.
That's kind of a big question, but yeah. Go ahead, Justin.
Tell us the future, Justin.
What do you think the future of the world is?
Okay, well, hang on. I got Miss Cleo on the other line.
Thank you.
It's probably gonna, involve a lot of war, and like some bad shit's gonna happen. That's gonna.
That was not what we wanted to hear.
Like human history is very cyclical. Okay, I mean it's the same stuff over and over again. Eventually, the U.S. is going to collapse. There'll be a new empire. And, it'll raise up. And other than that, the people of the world, unless they pull their shit together, Orwell's right. You want to know the future of the world? Picture of boots stomping on the face of humanity forever.
Thank you. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. You guys
Damn
hear
it.
that?
Some more slavery.
You hear that?
Oh.
Boot stomping on... Yeah, you hear that? That's it. That's it. That's all there is to it.
And I'm going to be hiding in the basement.
Yeah, and Jeff is hiding in the basement. He's going to wait till everyone is dead, and he's going to fucking go out. He's going to loot all the dead people. He's going to, they're going to be dead. But he's going to have a butcher knife in his hand, and he's still going to
What do they call that? What do they call that when you loot the dead body? I used to play that World of Warcraft game, and whenever someone used to, steal someone else's loot...
Assassin's Creed.
What do they call that? It's like ganking or something? Ganking? Ganking?
I don't fucking know. I've never done it. What is your problem?
Loot thief? I have no idea.
You do that shit, dude? You really do that, dude?
Oh, I didn't do that in the video game.
Oh! Now
if you do that, you get
on a fucking video game. Let's
if
just
you do that, you get boycotted and shit.
Boycott.
You get blackballed.
Yeah. Okay. So
you don't get to join any groups, dude.
Jesus fucking Christ! I don't play. I don't computer game. I play PlayStation, so I don't get into the groups of the fucking little computer nerds like you.
Multiplayer.
Dude, but why are you trying to? What is your fucking issue, dude? Why are you so racist?
What?
Jeff is an Islamophobe.
Yeah, thank you. Fucking bastard, dude. What is your fucking problem, dude? All of us, dude. We're just like, we don't know how to stick. We don't even know how to answer that shit. We want to stick up for you, dude, but yeah, you're laughing, dude. You think it's wicked funny, dude, but it is, dude. I totally agree. It's totally comedy, but what the fuck, dude? We're not gonna be like, yeah, Jeff, yeah, you're right. Derp, 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 burp, burp.
Okay.
Well, no one's disagreeing with me, so I guess
I am just not drunk enough right now to appreciate it.
It's that obvious, huh? Yeah, it is. Holy shit.
But,
oh, man.
Justin's like, dude, why am I on this show?
I know. It's embarrassing. Shit.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know what to say to any of this right now. So,
yeah, dude. Let's do the
I don't
know.
Justin usually joins us on our drinking. Isn't that
Let's
right,
talk
Justin?
about flat Earth.
See, this is why we have to fucking murder you, dude. Get off the show. Hang up right now. You want to talk flat Earth? Why? What the? This is the issue, dude. This is why. Fuck, dude.
Don't blame me, all right?
You brought it up.
He's the one who keeps bringing that shit up.
No, you brought it up. Dude. Don't fucking blame Mike for it, dude. You just brought up flat Earth, dude. You just fucked the whole show.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna shut the whole show down just because you fucking said flat Earth, dude. I think it's wicked funky like that. I do too, dude. It's great, dude. But hey, so I don't know, dude. I'm fucking totally confused now that he brought up.
You are lit, dude.
Dude,
lit.
You're the one that's like been drinking, dude. I like waited all fucking night to go down and get like a drink. Now I'm fucking the one that's lit, dude. You're bringing up flat Earth. That's fuck you. I'm just mad now, dude. I'm not even like. That's just fucked up. You ruined the whole show. We had a great show, and you're like flat Earth. Flat Earth. Oh.
This is the last time I was on.
Yeah.
We'll regroup the show.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened, dude. You came on there, and I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. Dude, that's what happened the last time I had Justin on. I was like, I don't know what to do, dude. Like, I don't know, dude. And I was confused, and I shut the show down. And Jeff, flat Earth, fuck you. Anyway, so I'm so fucked up, dude.
So, fifth column
there you
over
go.
Pontiac Tribune.
What's that, Justin?
Did y'all know that? The fifth column took over Pontiac Tribune. Look at it.
Really? Okay, so that's
Yeah.
what happened. Hey, we have like 30 seconds left of the live show. So anyone listening, dude, you can hear it on tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. You'll hear it. We have an hour left. We're going to like blab for whatever until Justin wants to hang out, and that's all there is to it. So when the show gets cut off, just listen to within the next hour or tomorrow or whatever you want to do. Anyway, so yeah. Say what you were going to say,
Check
Justin.
out the fifth column.
Yes. Go ahead.
So I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to wait for Justin to say something, and as soon as Justin starts talking, Michael will interrupt him. So that's what I'm going to do.
I'm sorry. What?
Well, we did that to you.
What?
Don't turn it on him,
What?
dude.
So, yeah. So, we took over, and we launched another site. So, the fifth column now has 3 different sites.
Is that why you're not associating with what's up in the associating with anti-media?
Oh no. We're still very cooperative. In fact, I still write for them. They've had some of my articles on there.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure, dude, because you didn't mention them earlier, so I was like, I didn't want to say anything.
Oh, no. We're still, everything is good.
Awesome. Okay, good. Because I like the anti-media, and I like you, so keep it going. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've just been focusing on our expansions because we added a new site called Sleeper Cells, which is the phase 1 of our radio and video operations. And then we took over the Pontiac Tribune.
Good.
And that will turn into the U.S. edition of the fifth column.
Right. No, they definitely shouldn't have.
Again, it was bad tactical planning. And I do think that him running away from the vehicle was an attempt to make sure that the incident that I believe he knew was coming happened away from them.
Kind of got away from it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too. That's what it looked like to me. So, I don't know. I'm not in the guy's head, but he ran away from the vehicle.
let's go back to the original cause for all of this. I mean, I thought when I first saw it from day one that this whole thing was kind of selfish and that the Bundys were kind of just taking advantage of other people just to get their own point across and just to get, because they have a personal grudge. That's the way I got it.
Did you watch any of the videos of them? They kept saying, hey, this is about, making our voices heard.
Of course, that's what they're going to say, dude. I mean, yeah, anybody can come up with a nice speech and a fancy-sounding speech. If you're going to try to get people to support you, that's what you're going to do. Dude, if you're going to start a revolution, you do it because we have psychopathic oligarch bankers, and they all need to fucking have their heads chopped off. That's the type of revolution I'm talking about. We need to fucking bring guillotines to Washington. No, we need to line up all these politicians. Man. No, he's talking about...
those most of those militiamen
I'm just
kidding. Conservatives.
These politicians and these bankers need to be fucking lined up in front of a firing squad, okay? Forget a little bit of land that was stolen. We need, a real legit revolution, not like some take over a non-used federal building and play,
an unoccupied federal building. We took over a federal building that was not occupied and people left for the winter.
I see why they did that, though. Just so, it's so they can come off non-violent, non-threatening.
All right, what does our guest think about that? What do you think about that, Justin?
About them taking the building?
The unoccupied building.
It's a symbolic gesture, occupying any building of the government. I mean, when it's done right, it can mean a lot.
Absolutely.
In Ireland, they took over a post office.
Yes.
And that's what started the Civil War.
Yeah. Was this done right then?
Yes.
You said if done right. Was this
Stop comparing my Irish to these Bundys, man. No.
It's a good example.
No, I know. I was joking.
That is a good example.
You're right, though. You're right. You're definitely right, though. It's definitely
And it's the exact opposite because.
Right.
I mean, it played out the same way. A bunch of people got killed, leaders got executed, end of story. But it wasn't because they did have people with them that understood that this was a bad idea, and they followed it up with a guerrilla campaign. Rather than everybody, to quote the guy that organized the guerrilla campaign, rather than marching in step towards slaughter, we're not going to play by their rules anymore. And that's with freedom, So, but I see this particular branch of the militia movement living in an echo chamber. That they think that everybody thinks the way they do, and that everybody's behind them. It's not. It's not quite that. We're not at that point. They say that they're at 3%, but there's not 3% of them. We don't have 3% of the population ready to bear arms. So, I mean, I think we do. You can't show me another example of it playing out a different way.
Right.
That's what happened.
And the guy martyred himself, though, dude. I mean, I've always talked crap on martyrs and I never respected martyrs, but it is different. And the guy is doing that to set an example and to teach a lesson and to show people how corrupt the federal government is. We don't need any more examples. This guy, if he's a good guy, which I believe he is, his life isn't worth it. His life isn't worth that example. In my opinion, it's not, because we already know the government's corrupt. We don't need him to sacrifice his life. He's got 11 children who are all going to miss him terribly. And like I said, he put a lot of people's lives at risk by doing that. 18-year-old girl in the car, 7 other people in the car. You just don't do that. I mean, and like Chris said, he may have not been thinking rationally because adrenaline, whatever.
Sure.
I mean, you still have at least a few seconds to decide, okay, these cops are pointing their guns at me. Should I try to drive past them? I mean, that's whatever, dude. That's like a death wish right there. And that interview he had a couple weeks ago, whatever, with mainstream television. During his interview, it's like you could see it then in his interview. He was basically like, I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to keep my gun up on me. And if they come to me to try to serve their warrants and try to put a gun on me, I'm going to shoot them. He's not going to live through that. He was expecting to die.
But he exited his vehicle and he got away from that vehicle because he was probably fearing they would fire upon that vehicle, full of people.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
So that's
yeah.
one rational thing he did.
Thank you,
they
Michael.
end up shooting at the vehicle anyway?
I don't know. They said there was a lot of. That's the thing. I've heard all these conflicting reports. We had no sound with that video, so we don't know how many.
You could see in the video something going on. Like
Well, I didn't see
no
windows flying out or breaking.
Saw like that light going off there. Someone was shooting something. Something was going off.
I'm fairly certain that was those were concussion grenades.
You think? Okay. All right.
Thrown by the car.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't get to look at it. Yeah.
I think that was the FBI's way of making certain that the people in the vehicle were going to be, deaf and dumb when they went to extract them and pull them out.
Scare them out, Those things are loud.
Right, and that came after that. I mean, that was like another 10, 15 seconds later after they killed them. Then we started seeing that in the video.
Well,
so.
One of the witnesses, the female, claimed that they were shooting at the car, like 100 bullets or whatever. And
there's a lot of claims like that coming from that family.
Yeah, if that's the case, more people would be dead. Cars do not stop bullets.
Right.
Unless you're Suge Knight. Suge Knight can dodge bullets like a motherfucker, dude. But
they don't. The time I got shot at in Philly, but it was because I was trying to buy some weed in the back streets. It was like Kensington, Philly, and they shot at the car. And the one of the bullets went right through the frame, right through the steel. Put a hole in it. So cars do not stop bullets. Although 100 bullets going into the car is going to kill someone with a car packed full of 8 people.
Right. Unless you're Suge Knight.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's crazy. Man, I don't know what
that the whole scenario with them having the additional people that they shouldn't have had with them.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be.
New World Order.
New World Order.
New World Order.
A new world order.
It is a new world order, significantly different and radically new challenges.
And the hope that each of us has to build a new world order.
What's wrong?
I need something stronger.
Take 4 red capsules. In 10 minutes, take 2 more. Help is on the way.
Let's get to our guest, Justin King. He is with us now. What's up, buddy?
Not much. How's it going?
It's going. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right. I just watched the footage, listened to a little bit of you guys talking.
He laughed. You're laughing at Jeff, right? I mean,
fuck it, I'll loot the body. What I said.
The thing is, I'm laughing at Jeff in the sense of he actually has a very valid point, but he does.
I agree. I do agree with that.
He's being Jeff. He's coming across as a little bit more abrasive than most would.
Right. So what? All right. So we might as well get into it. So what is your analysis on the video? Let's talk about the video right now before we get into the other stuff. What's your analysis on the video?
Well, this whole thing, the start to finish, I mean, the video included, but even going all the way back, this is a teachable moment for the for the American populace. There were a number of mistakes made. Static warfare. Putting yourself in a siege is always a bad idea. I mean, everybody that's ever watched a war movie knows, oh, I'm pinned down. That's a bad thing.
Yeah. A little bit.
When you occupy a building by force, under the force of arms, you're volunteering to be pinned down. It's a horrible idea. It's not something I would ever recommend. As far as the video, you can learn a lot from it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it is textbook, all right? The way the cars are set up, it's right around a curve. You don't see the roadblock until it's too late. They've got their engines.
They needed someone a little bit smarter to lead it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly the situation. I mean, I wish I looked into it a little bit more, but wasn't the guy who was, mainly in charge, I'm not talking about Bundy, but wasn't the guy who was influencing everything some sort of, ex-convict who, broke some dude's nose because he disrespected him the wrong way or something?
Are you talking about Santilli or?
Not Santilli. There was another guy involved who was, kind of...
Yeah, Santilli's a whole different story.
Yeah, exactly. That guy is a bit sketchy.
We should get into that after, but
I can't say if he's 100% FBI or not. A lot of people are claiming a guy just posted something like an FBI transcript. I don't know how legit it is, but he could be FBI. He's definitely an asshole. Santilli is an asshole. He cheated and stole from a lot of people and lies and manipulates. I mean, he stole a Facebook page, supposedly. He stole a Facebook page of 200,000 that had 200,000 fans and changed it to the Pete Santilli show. How low is that? Who does that? Who does that? That's hilarious.
Oh God.
These
guys were not. They were not the cream of the crop. It's a tragedy. This guy's dead. Okay, it's a tragedy. It's certainly, from what I could tell from the video, it did not look like a textbook shooting. It'll be rule justified. The guy because of his
absolutely, yeah, of course.
But I don't know that in reality the grounds were there to fire, but it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
The FBI put it on their own YouTube page. They think they're in the right if they're going to do that.
Exactly.
They're not worried.
No, they don't care. Yeah.
They don't have to be worried because the second these guys did this,
yep.
All the FBI has to do is redo the charges, redo the criminal complaint, and they could have killed all of them, and it doesn't matter because of the severity of what they were doing and the terms they used while doing it. For this to swing to a terrorism charge is just the whim of the prosecutor. It's all in how they frame it. So I don't. I wouldn't expect there to be a civil rights investigation over this.
I don't see it.
Doubtfully.
The Lavoie guy seems like a very likable guy. A lot of people like him. Some guy messaged me last night claiming that he's friends with them or whatever. So I'm definitely not going to knock the guy, but the guy made some stupid moves. Whatever. It is what it is.
Right. And that's the thing is that he was doing what he thought was right. Okay. And he was willing to put his life on the line to do it. That alone, garners him some respect.
Sure.
At the same time, the rest of the activist world needs to pay attention to this very carefully and learn from it. Because if there's anything that can come out of this, that people don't adopt this stance anymore because this only ends in the occupiers being killed or captured, facing oncoming traffic, which means you can't ram it.
Right.
You know, most local cops put their cars sideways. You know, you hit the trunk, your engine is lighter than their trunk,
That's
and you
a good
spin
point.
their car around you driving. You can't do that with a federal roadblock. These guys were well trained.
Right.
You see that they had snipers off on each side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
So getting out and running on foot is a bad idea.
Yep.
But this whole video occurred because they adopted a static, a static position. You know, the feds knew where they were going to go. They knew where they were going to be. They had their communications. They live streamed their, their conversations. So the feds have all the intelligence they need. You know, somebody earlier during your show said, well, I don't have any training. Well, you know what? These guys, they may have had training, but it was bad training.
Bad training. I agree with that, yeah.
I would have been a better strategy.
Yeah, I mean, bad training.
Yeah,
There's been no training.
There's no training.
No
Dude, that's like no, not that. That's why I was so against it, because it just seems so totally unorganized, and it looked. I mean, it was pretty to me, it was obvious, but apparently to other people it wasn't obvious, because I think people were just kind of jumping on board just because they were, quote unquote, standing up to the federal government.
Yeah,
and
people got
that's kind of dangerous in a way. To me, that's dangerous.
They want the revolution to get started. They don't care.
And I have a lot of sympathy for them in the sense that they were standing up and they were willing to put their rear on the line.
Sure, absolutely.
But I look at it a lot like, Ferguson. And I went to Ferguson, but I look at it in the same vein. It's not the best cause,
No.
There could have been better. There were better reasons to make a stand. So I'm very. This is exactly how the second they took over this building, this is how it was going to play out. I'm the only thing I'm surprised about is that they're all not dead.
Yeah.
Because especially in the 3% movement, the militia movement, everybody wants to make that stand. They want to relive the Alamo. The problem is everybody died at the Alamo.
I was going to say that everyone died at the Alamo.
It's true though, dude. I mean,
it's not strategically sound. If you look at the people that were actually able to defeat technologically advanced and, especially, if they have numerical superiority, they stayed mobile. You have to look at the Viet Cong, the insurgents in Afghanistan and Iraq. You can't look at Davy Crockett,
Yeah.
But, I mean, so it's a learning moment. It should be a learning moment.
It's more like General Custer.
Yeah. I'm disappointed because I see a lot of people saying, well, we need to go out there. Do what?
Do what? Yeah.
Yeah. That's a horrible idea. You can't. If a battle's over, showing up to where the opposition is already mobilized and waiting for you because you're talking about it on Facebook, that's a bad idea in a long string of bad ideas. Stay at home, wait for the next fight.